Think we can get across the Marianas Trench on just one tank of air?
We'll do what we need to do. Can't be that long, can it?
Oh, shit.
What?
I must have a leak in my line or something.
Oh, shit,
Air's
really?
running out.
Oh, no, what are we gonna do?
How many airs do you have?
I'm at 25 miles of air.
Oh, you're full of airs.
If we share air, we can totally get there.
Can we do that?
Yeah, just unhook my air compatible and I'll plug it into your system.
Let's do it, man.
Now we'll have to stay connected, like, you know. I'm gonna hook my umbilicus up to you, okay?
Hook up the umbilical cord. I will suck the life out of you, and we will continue on and both survive.
I will nurture
Marianas
you like
Trench.
an infant that I found along the beach.
That's how we met.
Allow you to suckle on my air, Ian.
Don't tell everybody how we met.
Okay. All right. Smell that?
Already that air is fresher.
That is some good air.
Oh.
Sorry, I just, you know, a lot of chalupas at lunchtime, so.
Oh my God.
What? What's the matter?
What's... Oh.
Is the pressure getting to you?
Is that egg? Oh. What happens if I vomit inside this helmet?
Don't. The pressure will be too much. No, Ian, no! Not like this, Ian. Get my air back. No one ever appreciated me and my air or something. I'm coming, Marianas. I'm almost through your trench. Do you know her, by the way? Ian.
Chris.
E-N. It is
Chris.
the newest of times.
It's 2020.
2020.
It's a new year.
So many opportunities.
It's the first time sitting down.
So many places you could go in this new millennium, decade, whatever.
So Chris, it's that time of year when employers are getting together their finances. They're getting those W-2s out to their employees.
Yes.
And I'm concerned we need to take a look at the books for Bad Movie Night. There might be some funny business going on.
Okay.
We might be underwater.
I was working towards a joke that he kind of interrupted during my joke, and it was going to be a lot better than that one. Just
Okay,
say
start over. Let's do it.
No, it's all done. It's all done. Whatever. Yeah, we went and saw that new movie starring one Kirsten Dunst. That's not her name.
No,
Kristen
that's not
Smith. What's her name?
Dunst.
Kristen Stewart. Got
There
there.
you go.
Who is a person,
Sure.
and she goes underwater in this movie.
She does.
So,
That was a good synopsis.
yeah. But everybody sees the trailer for this movie, and you're like, oh yeah, I know what this is. This is Alien underwater, which they've done several
Sure.
times in the late 80s and early 90s with
Sure.
your Leviathans and your Deep Star 6 and your The Rift and whatever. Even The Abyss is somewhat like that. Not really, but
A lot of people are going to make that comparison for sure.
because that's what this movie is.
Okay, I'd compare it to a different movie rather than Alien. Now, sure, there are some similarities to Alien, and they're unmistakable. But there's one that's even
Scenes from
better.
Alien, but yes.
There's one that's even better.
Okay.
This is actually Doom. Just in the way that, you know, you're going around, you're hearing the automated voices, everything's going to be okay, you just need to do the da-da-da-da-da. And, like, every time you think you made progress, it's actually about to get 10 times worse.
Are you talking about the game?
Yes, the game, not the
okay.
movie.
I see. Okay, yes. It's more of an apt
Yes. You got the
comparison.
vague energy company you never learn anything about.
You mean it's like there's not much of a story, but there are beats and
Sure.
plot points? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
This does feel kind of like a video game movie in some ways.
yeah, so we were going into this movie tonight, and you're like, I'm like, all right, underwater, let's see what this is. And you're like, oh, I thought you were really excited for it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't,
Okay.
because I thought it would be entertaining, but my expectations were extremely low because it looks like generic. Like, you know exactly what it is when you go and see it.
Fair enough.
We'll say it is that, but I also enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah. Me too. It was a good time.
Now,
It's a good time in the theater. I'd say it's also the first time that a jump scare has got me in the theater in fucking forever.
the alien jump scare?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's straight from Alien. No, it was the whole scene was
Sure.
from Alien. Yeah.
Doesn't make it bad, though.
But I do wonder if, like, I think the writer sit down and wrote the script. He's like writing for days, weeks on end. He's piled the script. Finally gets it. He hands it in, and the producers for the movie, they like look at the stack. and they take the first 50 pages and they go, we don't fucking need this shit, bitch. And then they're like, oh, well, it's still a little, how about this last 30 pages here at the end? We don't need that either. And that's what you got, the second act of a movie that leads into the third act.
I don't know, I think that was kind of its greatest strength, though. I love the pacing of this movie.
It's breakneck.
Yeah, it right from jump, you're in it. Like, if you've seen the trailer, like, the first 3 minutes of the movie are, like, a good chunk of that trailer. First 2, maybe.
It's like, though, we don't got time to establish characters.
And we didn't need
one scene with that, with Kristen Stewart and a spider that applies a little bit of characterization to her and some sprinkling throughout. But yes, I do need it when the whole third act climax of the movie hinges on this character arc. That's completely unearned.
Does it?
And
I'm not even sure what you're talking about.
Anticlimactic. The movie's very anticlimactic.
I honestly have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, well, we'll get there because that's highly spoilerific,
yes.
right? So we'll get to some spoilers if we need to. But this movie's a lot more visually interesting than I was expecting.
The sets were awesome.
The sets were fucking great.
Costumes were awesome.
And I thought the CGI, which I assume like most of that underwater stuff was CGI, but because it's so dark and muddy and murky, it kind of really works.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's too dark and too disorienting, and I get that's like what the characters are going through.
That's another reason why I was thinking Doom.
Okay.
You know?
But like, there's sequences where it's like, oh, we can't see because it's so dark at the bottom of the ocean, and there's shit going on, and there's people getting grabbed, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Because that's what the characters are thinking.
Yeah.
But as a viewer, I'm also like, I don't know what the fuck just happened, and now this character's here, and I don't get it, and it's just, there's...
I liked it. I thought it was tense.
Yeah.
The movie's very tense.
It is.
And like you said, breakneck pace made it a fun ride almost throughout.
My neck was hurting, and it cracked it back into place.
Okay, there we go.
You don't need to go to a chiropractor anymore. Just go see this movie. I was a little worried, though, going in. I don't know what your thoughts are, but I saw this PG-13, and I'm like, okay.
I don't think I even knew what it was rated going in, to be honest.
But, like, the people who go to see this movie, right, are, like, people who like Aliens and Leviathan and stuff, and they're like, oh, yeah, but why...
People who like Kristen Stewart.
PG-13. This seems like a movie that should be R with gore because you got monsters under the water. Like, who is this movie supposed to appeal to? Not 13-year-olds. Like,
yeah, but deaths in these types of movies don't necessarily have to be gory to be pretty horrifying.
I would argue that maybe this movie should have been rated R because some of these deaths were pretty horrifying, albeit not very gory.
So you're not saying they should have made it gorier to make it rated R. You're just saying maybe as is it could have been.
As is, I think it could have been. I also could have used some more gore.
Okay.
Now, movies like Leviathan, which is basically underwater alien, stray into like more gory alien interactions. Okay. Which this movie kind of strays away from. There are interactions with the alien creatures.
More about its tension than about its violence, for sure.
But
and to that end, I think they did it very successfully.
Yeah.
I appreciate why it wouldn't be for everybody, but I thought it did exactly what it intended to do. It was very effective.
I was expecting it to be like 90 to... I was expecting like 80% of it to be on this broken underwater station, and then there'll be the one sequence where they have to trudge through the underwater, under the ocean. But in reality, when the movie's called Underwater, they live up to that because like more than half the movie is them in these suits trudging through the bottom of the ocean.
Which is good because the suits were cool.
But like, you have T.J. Miller.
Yeah.
Who's quickly introduced at the beginning as the comic relief.
Yeah.
And he's not in the movie for very long. And he is all of the comic relief, and he is comedy. Oh, T.J. Miller's gone, so there goes all the comedy in the movie.
He's a bit of a buffoon.
It's kind of a tone shift.
But yeah, it's kind of time to like, when he dies, it's also kind of time to get more serious.
I didn't say he died. He could have swam up to the surface. It's only 6 miles. The only other issue I had with the movie was people talked a lot. Half the time it was like slurs and like, not slurring, but it was like mumbling. And like...
And that's just you getting old.
I couldn't hear like what people were saying.
I never seem to have a problem with that.
What?
You're hearing it over the the mics in their suits, so...
Yeah, it makes it more difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
kind of adds to the unknown.
Hey, you never know.
You don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know what's lurking in the deep.
What's lurking in the deeps. Yeah, the ocean is a terrifying place, and they make it seem very alien in this movie, which I think it is. So we can get into spoilers, because clearly we have some sort of disconnect here on this.
So you're saying it all hinged on one character moment or something that we never got enough development
The
for?
whole climax of the movie is Kristen Stewart sacrificing herself to save these two other people because they're in love, even though this love thing is barely... I didn't know they were in love. I thought they were like hitting on each other, and then TJ Miller says something like, "Oh, you should go after her," or whatever. And then at the end, they're like, "Oh, we're in love." I'm like, when did this? This is not earned.
I think I picked up on that a little earlier than you, but it definitely, you're right. It seems strange, but also like this whole movie was, we're only going to slowly release because we're catching these people in the middle of their lives.
Sure,
we're not,
but then don't have them like clearly like awkward. Like it felt like two people who were like kind of like flirting with each other.
Yeah,
but it was unclear. And then the whole movie hinges on her.
Most things in this movie were unclear and only either came to be understood or it didn't matter anyway.
Sure.
I think that was kind of the style of the writing of this.
Right.
So I don't know, it didn't throw me too much.
But the movie's anticlimactic because they introduce this badass big motherfucking alien Godzilla thing.
We are well into spoiler territory here.
And it was really cool.
Because fan theory.
Like, there was no big battle. It just kind of ended, like her dying. And I was like, wait, this is over?
How would you have ended it?
I thought she was going to use the big fucking drill on the big fucking monster.
Where saw the drill was destroyed.
I couldn't see shit. It was so dark.
They're like, what could have destroyed that 66,000 bajillion ton drill?
I honestly thought she was going to blow the thing and get into the pod and would have shot her up like everything else does when an explosion happens or something stupid like that.
Yeah, that would have felt dumber to me.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but like...
Especially given that we already established that the third escape pod didn't work.
But the climax of the movie is a character moment. She sacrifices herself. But there's really no characterization throughout the rest of the movie.
Minimal.
So it's like, why are we ending on this? We should be ending on a ridiculous, like, fight sequence or some sort of...
Would this movie be better if they spent more time on characterization?
Maybe.
I think the
less.
experience wouldn't have been as fun. I kind of love that it jumped right into it. Like, we're not spending any time developing these characters. You'll learn a little bit on the way, catch what you can. If you miss stuff, that's fine, because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah.
This was like a visual feast, a tension piece.
And I guess, again...
that worked for me.
Again, that's my problem with the end, is it's not a visual feast at the end. It's a character moment. And I would have liked to, like, a big climactic battle or something. But instead, it's just kind of like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? Oh, I guess she's dead. Okay, we're
should have gotten into one of those, what do they call the big Megazord things
in
Pacific Rim?
Yeah, something. Do the fuck. Get away from those escape pods, you bitch! And she like fights this or something.
The fun one-liner might have been nice.
I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was very serious in those moments because TJ Miller's gone and he was the only humor. And I get
then,
like
it was humorous, but it wasn't like over the top funny either.
No, but it was nonstop quips. And then, like, he's gone, there's no quips anymore, and it's very serious. And I get, like, well, yeah, of course it'd be fucking serious. It's terrifying, scenario. So, like, but, like, all that cheesiness is then gone as well. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't dislike it. I wanted more. And I think maybe they just, like, ran out of money or something.
Yeah, I came into this with very, I wouldn't say low expectations, but limited expectations, because I didn't really know anything about it.
Yeah.
So it looked cool, and I'm like, I was excited for something cool, and I feel like I got everything I needed out of it. So
yeah, it was.
At the end of the day, it's not going to be like my favorite franchise. Going, we need 7 sequels like Avatar, but like, I don't know, it was a good time. I really enjoyed it.
It was a good time.
Good time at the movies. I think this is a good one to see in the theater too, just because the bigness of the visuals and the tenseness of the storytelling. I would recommend not seeing it with the fucking couple that was sitting a few rows behind us that was blabbering through the whole movie. It was nice though. This movie is very loud, and very breakneck, so we largely couldn't hear it.
And that's why I'm calling a lawyer after this movie, because my neck's really hurting. Underwater, go see it. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
And that's all I gotta say. You know, it is what it is.
Yep, I recommend it as well.
Kristen Stewart's pretty good in it, I thought.
Yeah, she's a good actress.
Yeah, I don't really know her from too much, so.
Yeah.
But I liked it. I liked it. All right, that's gonna do it. We'll catch you next time. Year of Chris 2020.
Yep, we're doing it. 2020, year of Chris. He's picking all the movies.
All of them.
Fuck me.
Just wait for these next two. Jesus Christ. All right. Whee! Goodbye.